Welcome back, student. Now, today we'll discuss on heating and humidification. Heating and humidification, which is basically a psychometric process. In the previous lecture video, already discussed that the cooling and dehumidification and other psychometric processes also. Now, in this topic, in this classes, we will discuss on heating and humidification. So, heating and humidification is basically used in winter air conditioning. It's basically used in winter air conditioning to warm and humidify the air. To warm and humidify the air. Because of the process is that the heating process as well as humidification. So heating means the temperature should be increased. Okay, means temperature of air should be increased. Okay, that is heating. And humidification means the adding of moisture. If you add some extra moisture within the air, unsaturated air, then the air is called basically humidified, and the process called humidification. Okay, so this is the humidification. Now there are some psychometric processes are there, which is basically a combination of two processes. Another is heating and humidification. Both it is called heating and humidification. Okay, and it is basically used in winter air conditioning, because in winter we generally these are comfort condition is that to warm air as well as humidified air, because there are lots of moisture, okay, present in the atmosphere. So for the comfort conditions, the air should be warm as well as humidification. So for the winter air conditioning, the process should be in a particular air conditioning unit should be heating and humidification. Now it is a basically reverse process of cooling and dehumidification. Already we discussed that cooling and dehumidification, but it's a reverse process, because those processes cooling and dehumidification, now this process heating and dehumidification means humidification. So totally reverse process. Now suppose, as you know that there are some management, okay, there are some management, suppose these are the some arrangement, okay, so this is the arrangement in which the water spray, there are some water spray nozzles up there, means steam spray here, not actually circulated water. This is steam water spray, which is very very high temperature compared to the which the air entering. So these are entering air, so air entering at temperature that is TD1 diverse temperature, okay, and the steam water which is flow through a particular spray nozzle, that temperature is basically higher that compared to the TD1. Suppose this temperature is that is basically TD3. Now TD3 should be greater than much greater than TD1, because heating process, to complete the heating process, the temperature of the water spray, means temperature of steam or temperature water spray, temperature should be high compared to the air entering, because there are some heat transfer takes place, so that the air should be heated or warm. Okay, how dehumidified? Okay, when the air pass through this channel, means when the air is passed through this spray nozzles through which the steam water spray, the water basically in the form of steam, which is basically high temperature, when they are contact with the entering air, what happens? So this is the high temperature air, okay, suppose this is a high temperature, what is a spray nozzle through which the steam, high temperature steam is sprayed. Now air is, this is the entering air, pass through this one. When they are passed through the spray nozzles, which is flow through the steam, what happens that when they are passed, that there are some heat transfer takes place, because there are some heat transfer, because of there are some temperature difference are there, because these are high temperature, and the temperature of air which is enter into the arrangement, the temperature is very much low. So there are some temperature difference. Due to the temperature difference, because of spontaneous process, the temperature should be released from the high temperature to low temperature. So obviously the steam should, when the air is contacted with the steam, in spray nozzles, what happens that there are some temperature is transformed into the entering air. When they are pass, when they are exit through arrangement, when they are exit through this channel, the temperature is increased because of heating process, because the temperature is transferred. But how we humidified? Because when the steam is directly contact with the entering air, there are some steam which is contacted with the air. Basically steam is basically one type of water, because when the steam is contacted with the normal temperature of the air, there are some condensation process takes place, and they will form some water vapor. This water vapor basically absorbed by that particular entering air. So there are some increases of some amount of water vapor. So if the amount of water vapor increases, that means there are some moisture content is increases. That means the humidification process takes place. So in this way, actually humidifier works. Okay. So in this way also heating and humidification both process take simultaneously in the particular humidifier arrangement. Now, so this is the basic psychometric chart diagram. But for to do this heating and humidification process, that condition should be satisfied that spray water temperature should be greater than the temperature of the air which is entering. That is the dry bulb temperature of the entering air should be greater than the spray water temperature. Okay. Otherwise, it will be cooling and humidification. Okay. So spray water temperature means steam water temperature, which is sprayed through a particular spray nozzles. That temperature should be high compared to the air which is passed through entering into the particular arrangement. So the temperature should be high. So that means the spray water temperature greater than TD1. Okay. Now, so this is a psychometric chart. As you see that this is a psychometric process also. As you know that this process indicate here 1 to 2 is your heating and humidification process. Because of in the process this is a one state where the just air is entered at that particular conditions. That particular condition dry bulb temperature is TD1 and corresponding specific humidity is W1, means specific humidity. Okay. Now when they are heated, so that means the process stop here at state 2. So this is the state condition 2 and corresponding dry bulb temperature TD2. So this is the point 2, corresponding temperature TD2 here, corresponding specific humidity W2. So as you go increase, that means W1 increases to W2, that means there a humidification process takes place. And when the process change from 1 to 2, the dry bulb temperature also increases from TD1 to TD2. So here heating means TD1 to TD2. As you go along in your psychometric chart, along from left side to right side in the x-axis, it indicates that the temperature increases. Okay. Similarly, when you increase, when you see in your psychometric chart in your y-axis in a specific humidity line, what you see that the specific humidity increases because of the heating and humidification process. So this 1 to 2 is process which indicates the heating and humidification process. Okay. Now 1 to 2 is basically also, it is sometimes also is also seen like a curved line, but the main thing is that for the psychometric process to calculate the psychometric processes, the endpoints. The endpoints are the very important for any heating and humidification process or for the any calculation of psychometric process. So endpoint is very much important. So 1 and 2 is very important point. Is it curve or is it a straight line or is it another curve or any type of line? So that doesn't matter, but the end point is very important. So corresponding this point, if you draw a particular inclined line, straight inclined line, that will cut a particular enthalpy line that gives the value of H1, corresponding to the value will be give you enthalpy, that is H2. Now 1 to 2, if it's a combination of heating and humidification, you can divide this 1 to 2 process to 1 to A and A to 2. How? Because in 1 to 2 process, means 1 to A process, the heating is done. Heating is complete in process 1 to 2, because here temperature TD1 to TD2 is increases, and process for A to 2 and for process A to 2, okay, the specific humidity is increases from A to 2. So this is the humidification process. So ultimately the process 1 to 2 is the summation of the process 1 to A plus A to 2, which indicate 1 to A is basically heating process and A to 2 is your humidification process. Okay. Now as you know that this also your sensible heat due to sensible heat, and this is the latent heat due to the latent heat. Okay. Now if you want to calculate the what amount of heat is added due to the heating and humidification process, that is basically Q, that equal to H2 minus H1, difference of enthalpy, that is H2 minus H1. Now H2, in terms of H2, you can write here that H2 will be H2 minus HA plus H1 is equal to HA minus H2. Okay. So there are some problems. So that will be H1. Okay. Okay. Now H1. Here it will be H1. Okay. So H2 minus HA. H2 minus HA. That is nothing but sensible heat. Okay. I'm sorry. is the latent heat and this is the sensible heat. Okay. So H2 minus H1, this is will be latent heat plus QL plus QS. So sensible heat factor, that will be sensible heat factor, as you know, there is a ratio of sensible heat divided by total heat. So sensible heat will be QS divided by QS plus QL. So after all, if you put all this value, you can get the value of sensible heat factor for the heating and humidification process. That will be HA minus H2 divided by H2 minus H1. So what is H1 H2? You already know that H1 is the corresponding enthalpy value corresponding to the entering air, which is at the condition state 1, and H2 is the at the condition of exit air from the arrangement, that is give you the value of H2. A is the particular point. Okay. Now if you look at this this also, that MW1 and MW2, that is basically mass of spray water that is entering and leaving the humidifier, and similarly corresponding HFW and HFW2, that is the enthalpy of spray water which is entering, leaving and humidifier in the kilojoule per kg. If you do that mass balance, that you will get that MW1 minus MW2 is equal to MA into W2 minus M1, means W1. Okay. From this you can calculate the MW2. Similarly, if you calculate the enthalpy balance, that will be MW1 into HFW1 minus MW2 into HFW2 is equal to MA into H2 minus H1. So corresponding from this formula also, you can put this value MW2 in terms of here, you can get H2 minus H1 value in terms of that, or you can get directly the value of H2 minus H1 from your psychometric chart. Okay, you can calculate this way also. You can calculate the value of amount of heat added during this process, that is Q, that is equal to H2 minus H1. You can calculate this way also, or you can calculate easily from the psychometric chart, that is Q is equal to H2 minus H1. That will be the enthalpy difference between state 2 to state 1, that is H2 minus H1, very easily. Okay, this is the heating and humidification process. So heating and dehumidification, it is, as you know, that heating and dehumidification process occurs in winter air conditioning, and it is basically in this topic actually we discuss on that heating and dehumidification process, but it is basically done by adiabatic chemical dehumidification process. Adiabatic chemical dehumidification, it is also sometimes also called adiabatic chemical dehumidification. So the arrangement should be such that the in psychometric process in heating and dehumidification, the dehumidification process is done by, as well as heating process also done by chemical, means adiabatic chemical. There are some adiabatic process also are there, so there are some chemical are there, so that the process should complete that heating and dehumidification. It's a summation of heating and dehumidifier, all of this. Now as you know that this is the psychometric chart. You know that suppose this is the entering point of the air, the temperature corresponding here TD1. Okay, diurnal temperature, that is TD1. Now when it is heated, okay, when it is heated, that means when it reach up to that particular point, that is 2, corresponding that particular point, that is TD2. Okay, and as you know that when you go along from 1 to 2 directions, that indicate that corresponding 1 to 2 is basically from temperature difference increases from TD1 to TD2. So when the temperature is increases of air, that means the process is heating, means warm. Okay, or the process is so called heating. Okay, and similarly if you draw the line in the specific humidity line which cuts the point, that is W1 and W2, that particular point, that is W1 and W2, that is specific humidity. Okay, so this is the 1 to 2 is basically your heating, and as well as when it is process go to 1 to 2, that means it's transformed from W1 to W2, so it is goes downward direction, that means it is dehumidified, and it indicates your heating. So it is heating and dehumidification process 1 to 2. Suppose this point is as you know that there are some coil, or there are some process there, because when their air is contacted with that particular process or heating coil or something other cells, when they are contacted, what happens that 100% of that 100% of air is not contact with the heating coil or chemical things, which is basically kept in a particular chamber. Okay, what happens that there are some difference, there are some gap are there. We assume that is a total 100% process. Now assume that here 0.3, so corresponding point will be here TD3, corresponding point specific humidity will be W3. So as you know that from if you calculate the efficiency of dehumidification process, that is that efficiency equal to actual increase in dVT divided by ideal increase in dVT. Means actually what are the temperature difference increase, means what are the temperature increases in dry bulb temperature, that is basically actual increase, that is basically TD1 minus, means TD3 minus TD1 to TD3 minus TD1 divided by TD2 minus TD1, which is basically ideal increase in dVT, which indicates your effectiveness of your heating and dehumidification process, and it is used in industrial air conditioning as well as for comfort condition in air conditioning also. And it gives you the low relative humidity, obviously, because the final stage is here, okay, and this is the initial stage. So this indicates this is the relative humidity line. If you go along this direction, so relative humidity as you go this direction, psychrometric chart, the relative humidity line is decreases, because this line indicate relative humidity is 100%. As you go along downward directions, means this direction from 1 to 2, 1 to 3, the relative humidity will decrease, as well as low dew point temperature also achieved through this process. Okay, how do what is the process, what is the working principle for heating and dehumidification process? There are some chemical, means there are some adiabatic insulated chamber up there, because of there is no heat transfer takes place. So in the insulated chamber up there, and there are one chemical are stored within the insulated chamber. When the air is passed through the chemical, that chemical basically capacity or capable to absorb more affinity to absorb moisture. So when the air is passed through this particular chemical, so that chemical particular absorbs some moisture from the air. That means there is some air. When they absorb some moisture from the air, that means there is some condensation takes place and give up the latent heat. That particular latent heat gives the air that to increase the temperature of the air. So that process gives you the heating process. And when the chemical is absorb some moisture from the air, that basically indicate that the dehumidification process, because in the air there are some high percentage of moisture there. When the chemical is absorbed, when the chemical absorb the air, because the chemical has certain affinity to the absorb air on a particular, so what happens that particular air, when the air is absorbed by chemical, there are some moisture is released by means of chemical. So there are some moisture is released, that means some amount of water vapor is decreases or some releases. So this the dehumidification process is done. And similarly at that particular time, when they give up the latent heat, that particular latent heat gives the air to increase the to increase the temperature of the dry bulb temperature. So that indicates your heating process. So this is a summation of heating and dehumidification. So basically it is done by adiabatic chemical process or adiabatic process and in a chemical way. Okay, so this is the adiabatic chemical dehumidification process. Okay, so this is the process 1 to 2, but actually the process is 1 to 3, and 1 to 2 is basically 100% process, which is not possible because there are some inefficiency of there in a particular coil or chemically or any process. So that's why we assume that the process is 1 to 3, but in terms of 1 to 2, but 1 to 2 is your process also, but that is ideal. Actually is 1 to 3. Okay, so this is the heating and dehumidification process. Okay, so this is the adiabatic mixing of 2-yard steam. So these are basically adiabatic mixing of 2-yard steam that indicate that the mixing takes place, or the mixing of 2-yard steam takes place in adiabatically. So adiabatically means there are some insulated. So this is the insulated part. This is the insulated chamber in which there is no heat transfer takes place from the system to surrounding or surrounding to system, system to surrounding and surrounding to system. There is no heat transfer takes place during the mixing of 2-yard steam. So as the diagram shows that, so this is the 1 and 2. This is the 1 channel, the 2 channel in which the air is passed through of mass, that is M1, enthalpy H1, and the specific humidity W1, and corresponding the channel 2, that mass is M2, enthalpy is H2, and specific humidity is W2. When they are mixed together, they will form a new mixer, and that particular corresponding enthalpy, mass, and specific humidity M3, H3, and W3. Now, when they will mix together, the final condition of the final condition will be reached. That is basically three conditions. That is the state 3, and that final condition of pair mixer depends on there are various factors. That is number one, that is mass involved. What are the amount of mass involved within the particular mixer? That will be first condition. Second one is on the enthalpy. So second is on the basis of enthalpy. The final condition of pair or mixer depends on the enthalpy and the specific humidity of each constituent of the masses. So these three factors define, or these three factors basically depends on the final mixer or final condition of pair mixtures. So as you know, so this is the mixer from the, as you know, from the fluid mechanics that and from the flow part, the mass conservation as well as energy conservation. As you know, from the conservation of mass, that will be m1 plus m2 is equal to m3, because m1 plus m2 is equal to inlet and m3 is equal to part, that is outlet. So this is m1 m2 will be is equal to the m3. So m1 mass, m2 mass will mix together and total mass will be is equal to m3. So that is mass balance is equal to m1 plus m2 is equal to m3. Similarly, for energy balance equation, you can write in terms of energy, that will be m1 into h1 plus m2 h2 is equal to m3 h3. Okay. Similarly, mass balance for water vapor, you can also write here that m1 into w1 plus m2 w2 is equal to m3 w3. Now, so if you write down this equation 1, 2, and 3, so as you know that m1 plus m2 is equal to m3. So in these equations, in the energy balance equation, if you put this in terms of m3 is equal to m1 plus m2, if you put this here in terms of m3 is equal to m1 plus m2 here, then you can calculate that that the value of m1 by m2. You can calculate the value of m1 by m2, that is equal to h3 minus h2 divided by h1 minus h3. And in similar approach, you can also calculate the specific humidity, that is m1 by m2 is equal to w3 by minus w2 divided by w1 minus w3. Because of, you know that m1 plus m2 is equal to m3, and you know that from the mass balance for water vapor, that is m1 w1 is plus m2 w2 is equal to m3 w3. So in terms of m3 here, again you can write that m3 is equal to m2 is equal to here. So then you can get the value of m1 by m2, that will be w3 minus w2 is equal to w1 minus w3. Now, why do so this is the m1 by m2, this is the value, and if it is m1 by m2 and this here, if here m1 by m2, so that will be equal. So this one is equal to this one. Okay. Now, if you do the this process in psychometric chart to psychometrically chart, if you draw this diagram process, that will be in. So suppose this you have to first look at the point 1. You have to know, as you know, that when the air is passes through this channel, the temperature and the mass, you already know that the temperature and the relative humidity. Suppose the relative humidity, you know that the specific and temperature, this cutting point indicate the state 1. Similarly, that corresponding divergent temperature Td1, corresponding specific humidity is W1, and you know that relative humidity, because for any in psychometric chart, for any point, if you identify that particular point, you have to know that two properties, means either relative humidity with temperature, or specific humidity or divergent temperature. You have to know the two important properties. Here, if you know the relative humidity or specific humidity and divergent temperature, then you can look at the point state 1, which is the entering air at the particular section channel 1. Now again, channel 2 here, in this section also there are some temperature as the temperature which is basically different from section 1, which is different from section 1 at that particular state 2. The relative humidity, okay, relative humidity basically is 2 here, and the divergent temperature is here Td3 2. Okay, if you draw this line, that line indicates your adiabatic mixing of two air stream. Now when they are mixed together, okay, when they are mixed together, means m1 and m2 at section 1 and section 2, they will form a state of mass, that is m3 and h3 and w3. You have to identify on a particular process where this 3 state occurs. Now how do you calculate? You have to calculate very similar fashions. That is very important. So because as we know that from this term, if you know the m1 by m2, you know that m1 by m2, and you know that w1 and w2, because This is the M1 H1 W1 M2 H2 W2 is known to you. So you know that M1 M2 and W1 W2. So if you apply this equation, you can calculate the W3. W3 is nothing but the specific humidity and of the mixing air, the final condition of the air, W3. So this is your W3. You can plot this W3. So corresponding this line, so this will be cut here. Similarly, you can also calculate similar fashion M1 by M2 is equal to M1 by M2 is equal to T3 minus T2 by T1 minus T3. Okay. So in this, if you apply these equations, then you can calculate the value of T3 means TD3. Okay. TD3. Okay. So TD1, TD3. So from this equation, you apply this equation, you can calculate the TD3. So that will be TD3 here, W3 here, that point here, that is state 3, which is basically divided the equation or divide the process 1 to 2. The 3 point is here. Corresponding enthalpy value will be H3 here. Corresponding value of 2 will be enthalpy, that is H2, and corresponding value of enthalpy of point 1, that will be H1. Okay, so in this way actually you can calculate the mixing of means final condition of air of enthalpy. Specific humidity means the enthalpy will be H3, final condition of air enthalpy, specific humidity will be W3, and the diabolic temperature will be TD3. So in this way you can calculate the final condition of air mixture. Okay, so that will be that will be 3 here. So H3, W3, and TD3. So this is the two important equations. These three are the three important equations. By this way you can calculate W3, H3 as well as TD3, which is very required to know the mixing of two air stream. Now, if it is happens that the amount means the temperature of air mixing is very high, that's channel 1, and temperature of air that is very cold, if it is mixing together, the line will be shift towards this section, and this will be this one, this process 1 to 2, and that point will be 3. That point indicate your actually fog, okay, which is basically left side of the saturation curve, and that particular temperature of the fog, it will be the extension of the wet bulb temperatures. Okay, so this is the defined topic. Okay, so this is the adiabatic mixing of two air stream. Okay, thank you very much for listening and watching me, and goodbye.